Hi friend, welcome or welcome back. This morning I'm going to do a quick flip of my September and October in my Hobonichi cousin. Um, she's gotten quite chunky. Even though I didn't do April and March, and we still got all of November and December to do. So let's get right into it. For this week, September 1st through the 7th, I used a Busy Bees planner kit. Super cute, fall themed. Excuse me. It was kind of looks like a busy week for me, but I think this month is the month that we went away for a week and a half. So we had to get some oil changes. I had to get some cleaning done at customers' houses. I did a bunch of quotes this week for homes. Had to go do some customer cleans on Sunday. The next week I did a reading book themed from Busy Bee Planners. Trying to get some of my older kits used up. No, it's definitely not a fall themed. But hey, I'm using them. So this week we had two of my niece's volleyball games. I went to, did I go to both of them? I can't remember. I think I went to this one. I think I went to the one on Monday and did not go Wednesday because those bleachers are hard and they killed my back. So I don't think I went to the one on Wednesday. This was the day that Charlie Kirk was shot and killed on I think it was Utah campus. A very sad day, very sad day. But the games both were won by my niece's team. Let's see, what else did we have going on? Oh, I verified our cabin for Tennessee, so that's awesome. I worked on my husband's anniversary gift, my pup's birthday. Oh, my sister's birthday was last week. We had my sister's birthday and Labor Day on the 1st. So let's see, we did some filming. What else did we have? We had lots of errands. We picked up our pellets, supply for the week or for the winter. Did some cleaning on the lot. Oh, I got to sleep in on Saturday. That was nice. And then I love this kit. I think it is gorgeous. The colors just are beautiful in it. This one is from Eliza Rawell, looks like. And so this is the week that I actually got to find out where CrimeCon was going to be. So I bought the tickets and I booked a hotel for that. That is in Vegas at the end of May. Yes, end of May 2026. So we're going to Vegas in 2026. So I'm super excited for that. We also, this week I went down to PA for work. We had our fall show for some of our builders. I think it was for Commodore and Colony, so the Cavco company. That was awesome. We had so much fun at dinner that night, and the bus ride back to the hotel was so much fun. On our way back home, me and my manager, I went with my manager, coworker. We stopped at Lenchworth State Park. Oh my God, that place is gorgeous. If you ever have a chance to do that in the fall. I would recommend doing it on a year or a summer where we have rain because the falls weren't flowing as good as they could be because we had a really dry summer and there really wasn't much water flowing over that fall. It was still gorgeous, but it would have been nicer if it had more water coming out. Let's see, what else did we have? The next week, this is a Hobonichi kit from Hubman and Chub Girl. This week, it was the week that we left for Tennessee. We left Tuesday night at, I want to say like 11:30. Yes. So we left at like 11:30. I worked Monday till 2:30 because I had to go and get my pup and bring him to the vet because apparently he was missing one of the shots that he needed for the kennel. So I had to get him into the kennel that morning, get him an appointment that morning, and they got us right into around 3:30, I think it was, and I live about a half an hour from work, so I had to go pick him up, go back to town, and then yeah, that was fun. So Tuesday, I brought him to the kennel. I was supposed to have my nails done that morning, but she ended up having to cancel. She lost power. No big deal, whatever. I wasn't mad. After I dropped my pup off, I went to Hobby Lobby. It was that close. I couldn't pass it up. um, so my dog has a lot of anxiety. So when he sees me packing, he gets really, really anxious. So I did not pack anything until after I got back from bringing him to the kennel and Hobby Lobby. So I did that. I took my shower and then I laid down and we hit, when I got back up, my daughter and granddaughter, they called me. So while I was FaceTiming with them, my husband packed up the truck and then we hit the road. Oh my God, I was so excited for this trip. We did find some nasty places. Like we always hit this Flying J in PA. It's like the top of PA. And it was just nasty. It looked like it was deserted. We didn't even think it was open. We were actually going to leave, but it was open and it was just, I don't know, it looked so deserted. So we hit PA at 2:45, Maryland at 6:34, West Virginia at 6:44. Their welcome center was nasty AF. I don't know what it was with all these nasty places. Like that was a welcome center. Normally there's people there all the time, especially at 6:44 a.m. There's usually somebody there cleaning or whatever. But we ended up stopping at IHOP at 7:30 in the morning for some breakfast. We didn't want to be too early, but we ended up getting there about 3:30. We did stop at Buc-ee's just to pick up some snacks for the day because we weren't really planning on going out after we got to the cabin. So we ended up stopping at the Welcome Center for Tennessee and then went to Buc-ee's. We were at Buc-ee's. Oh my God, it was so busy there. I know Buc-ee's always get busy, but it was so busy there. There was hardly any parking spots. We had to circle the parking lot a couple times before we found a parking spot. We grabbed a couple snacks and some drinks, and then we headed to our cabin. Oh my God, this cabin was gorgeous. I was so happy with the cabin. Next time we go, because we do want to go again, it's so nice there. And no, we didn't go into Gatlinburg this time, but it was so calm and relaxing. We had such a nice vacation. It really was. My husband, he had ordered sneakers before we left. He probably ordered those in August and they still hadn't arrived. So we ended up going down to the Tanger outlets to find him some sneakers. And I usually buy a Starbucks cup. It's the Been There collection or it's their travel collection. I think they changed the name and I can't remember what it's called now. But so we actually ended up parking right in front of a Starbucks. So I ran in there, grabbed that, and then we looked for the rack room shoes because we know that they sell the what are they called? Oh my goodness. It's got a D and a G on it. Oh, I can't even think of them right now. So we ended up walking by a Kate Spade store, so I popped in there and bought a new bag. I love it. I'm still using it. It's a hot pink, little crossbody. I love it. We went to the Sand Dollar Lifestyle Purse and then a Born United store. They had some really nice stores down there. Then we stopped at Dunkin' for some coffee and then back to the cabin and hopped in the hot tub and relaxed for the night. Thursday, did we have anything planned for Thursday? Yes, we went to Alcatraz East after breakfast. Breakfast was at the Smoky Mountain Pancake House. Alcatraz East was awesome. If you're a crime junkie like me, this is an awesome place to visit. If you're in the Smokies, if you're down in Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg, awesome, awesome place. We were there for 2.5 hours. Um, and we got there when it first opened, so it wasn't super crazy busy, but it started getting like really busy as we were going through. We could see more and more people coming in. But yeah, it was definitely a really cool place to visit. And then we ended up going to the Smoky Mountain Knife Works, which they had more than what I was expecting. I was expecting um a bunch of like hunting stuff and knives and things like that. Well, they had kitchen stuff, they had crystals, they had all sorts of stuff. I loved it. I did buy a bunch of crystals that day. My husband got some hunting stuff. Then we ended up going to downtown Flavortown. It's the Guy Fieri restaurant there. They do have a arcade with it, but we ended up just getting dinner that night because by the time we were done, the arcade was just packed. They had a Cajun chicken fettuccine Alfredo. Oh my God, this was so good. I just want to drive back down there just to get that. I ended up finding the recipe, so I got to make it. And then I had a adult beverage and it was called the Painkiller. Yes, it was delicious. And I just found that Guy Fieri has a restaurant in Vegas. So we are definitely going to that one while we were there too. And I did buy some crumble cookies for the first time. I bought the mini 6 pack, I think it was. They're all right. I wouldn't spend that kind of money on cookies ever again. We popped into the Carhartt store. We stopped at another like little convenience store on our way back up to the cabin to grab some coffee for the morning. And then we relaxed at the cabin. They had a jet tub too. So I popped into that because my back was bothering me. The 26th was our 10-year anniversary. For breakfast, we went to the Old Mill restaurant. I totally spelled restaurant wrong, just realizing that. Their breakfast is amazing. Amazing. It was so good. And then, because this is like a whole area, the Old Mill is a whole area, we went to the Iron Metal Works where I got the rose made out of metal, and my husband got a knife. And we went to the distillery. We wandered around for a bit. Then we went to the candy kitchen and then the kitchen shop. Then we went to the arcade. That was awesome. We had so much fun there. We're like big kids, I swear to God. And then we went to dinner at the Sunliner, which is like a 50s style restaurant. They have two really old cars made into like booths. There's a pink one and a red one. And then they got some old style cars from the 50s outside, but their food is delicious as well. We went back to breakfast on Saturday just because their food was so good. We did have flash flood warnings because it was just raining like cats and dogs. So we went and got breakfast, and by the time we were done breakfast and got back up to the cabin, it was storming, but it was nice to sit out on one of the decks and just listen to the thunderstorms in the mountains. And we just enjoyed it, just sat there and enjoyed it, drinking some coffee. We went to Mel's Diner for lunch because we did actually end up having to leave. A little bit of TMI, but your girl had to go to Walgreens to go pick up some feminine stuff. We ended up going to Smoky Mountain Knife Works again. And then we went back to the cabin. Sunday, we went to breakfast at the Sunliner. Their breakfast was delicious too. We went to the Three Bears store. I wanted to go there because apparently you can pet a bear and feed them. Well, when I saw that it was like $55 to do this, I was like, nope, never mind. Not doing that. I can see them out in the wild in the Smoky Mountains. So we didn't do that. So we ended up going over to the gem mine store because we had to, well, we didn't have to, but I wanted to bring back a bucket of sand with all the gems and stuff like that for our neighbors' girls. They they showed me one of their rocks one time, and it had like I don't know what was really in the rock, but it looked like, the shiny gold stuff into the rocks and minerals and things like that. So I wanted to bring that back to them. And we went to Bigfoot's Country Barn store. We went down to the flea market. This place was huge. I've never seen a flea market so big, but they're only opened Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But that was awesome. I think we spent at least a good 5 hours just wandering around there. They had so many vendors, so many different things to look at. And I mean, it wasn't just like things that you can buy now, but they did have some old school stuff. They had some random antiques, things like that. We got some Little Caesars and back to the cabin. Monday, we went to the Smoky Mountain train, and that was down in Bryson, North Carolina, which it took us about an hour and a half to drive from our cabin to there because the bypass was closed through the Smoky Mountains due to the flash flooding on Saturday. So there was a landslide, so we couldn't cut through that area, which was fine, no big deal. So we did that train. I think it was about 5 hours long, and it was a relaxing, gorgeous time. I mean, just the scenery was beautiful. Tuesday, we got up, got the truck loaded at 6 a.m. and hit the road at 6:30. We did stop and get some Dunkin', and then we stopped at Buc-ee's. It was so dead there. So dead. Probably like 5 people were in that store. We ended up leaving Buc-ee's about 8. I wanted to drive through Shenandoah National Park, but I knew we weren't going to be able to do it just because of how foggy it was. As we got closer to Shenandoah National Park, you could barely see in front of you. So we get up to the entrance, and the park employee that was there, he was so kind, and he asked us if we wanted to drive through that, and he's like, it's extremely hard to see through here. And I said, well, where is the closest visitor center? And he said about 54 miles ahead. And I was like, so that's not going to happen. And so he ended up stamping my national park book, and we just pulled up a little bit so we could get some pictures and things. And I actually snapped this one picture, and it looked so creepy. But we sat there and we talked to him for a while. We were talking about, because the next day was supposed to be that government shutdown, and it did end up shutting down. But that park did end up shutting down because of the government shutdown, but the Smokies is still open, and they stayed open. It just sucked that we couldn't drive through there, just because, I mean, literally you wouldn't have been able to see 2 feet in front of you, and we weren't going to attempt that, especially with all the animals and deer and elk. We just didn't want to attempt that. So we ended up turning around after we got some pictures, and we headed home. We ended up getting home about 10:30 p.m. Not bad at all. I just need a drink real quick. Wednesday, I had a nail appointment. Went and picked up my pup. We both had this day off. And then Thursday, back to work. I mean, the only one good thing was the office was closed, but that's because we were taking down 2 of our modular homes. So we had 2 cranes on the lot. My boss, the owner, was not impressed that there was 2 cranes on the lot. He was worried something was going to happen, something was going to go wrong. Somebody could potentially get hurt. Luckily, nobody did. But, you never know. And I understand where he was coming from. We all did. But you never know. I had lots of catching up to do in my journal. My Hobonichi, I didn't bring this with me on the trip, so I had lots of stuff to get caught up on. Did a video on Friday. I had a pickup order from my niece's senior project I had to pick up, groceries. I started working on my traveler's notebook album. I got that ready. Still haven't even started it. I had a couple of private things that needed to be covered up. So now we're into October. Emails. Customer house was offline. Another customer's concrete was ready. Not a whole lot going on. We had another volleyball game this day. Had to do my budget. Oh, one of our houses got water damage before it left the lot. Not good, not good. Had a bunch of customers this day. Cleaned my craft room. Had my grandbabies on Friday. 3 years at my job. I had to go clean a customer's house. Let's see, busy day Monday. I was sick this day, so I did not go to work. I was off this day, which was good because I was still feeling like crap. They ended up canceling this appointment on me. Let's see, what else did we have going on? Bunch of quotes, phone calls with customers, quotes and phone calls. I don't have a whole lot going on right now at work. Just deliveries. Let's see what else. I had some customers come in, order their blueprints on this past Saturday. This Saturday. That was Sunday. This Saturday. I had senior night with my niece at her volleyball game. So sad. It's so sad. I know, they grow up. I know. But, so her sister is in 11th grade, so she's an underclassman. So her sister did a speech for her, and I cried. I cried. It was so sweet. And then this is the last week of October. We had Halloween. I love this. I love this layout. So cute. This is a Shine Sticker Studio kit. And so we had Halloween. I had my nails this week. I had a customer sign contracts for the 2 homes that we were doing. I had a call with my daughter and my granddaughter. Halloween. I was supposed to go trick-or-treating with them. We ended up going indoors because it was just pouring. It was cold. It was rainy. Nobody needed to get sick. Had to work. I got my Asherman from 2 to 10. His mom and dad had to work. Did some daily catch-ups. Sunday in the afternoon, we went and picked up some paint. We're going to paint our living rooms this weekend coming. Well, my husband's going to start it on Saturday. I have to work. Then we got the dailies. I'm trying to get through this as quick as possible. I always put my videos on the first page of the month. I did cover up my niece's pictures and anybody else that I don't have permission. She doesn't want me to show her pictures, which is fine. This is her senior picture, and as you know, I always write, the universe is saying to you today, and then my vibe of the day, because I feel if I'm writing in these pages, what's the point of me having my everyday journal? Plus, I can't get everything out on these one-day pages. So, September 4th was the first day back to school for my nieces. My oldest is a senior and my youngest is a junior. My universe vibe of the day. And then I had stopped on Sunday. I love this area in the town close to us, and there's just a bridge, the Oswegatchie River, and just a really small little tiny waterfall. And then this is the day that I went to the volleyball game, the first game of the season that I went to. And I didn't cover the pictures just because you really can't see them, but I also kind of like covered them. September 10th, Charlie Kirk was shot. September 11th, and never forget, very sad day. And then, let's see, September 13th was my pup's 9th birthday. He got spoiled. Me and my husband exchanged anniversary gifts. I got him, it was the medal. I guess it was the medal anniversary. I'm not sure. So I got him this picture of us on a piece of metal, and then it's engraved up on top. And he got me a glass rose. He got a new truck. And then I booked CrimeCon tickets and the hotel. Just a cute selfie of me at our Cavco show. And then this is at Lanchworth State Park. I don't know if you can see that, but right here, so you can tell that it was not flowing as good as it should. Oh, that paper clip came out because there's a bunch of them that I can't show because you can really see my niece's faces in them. So instead of just sticking stickies over it, just my universe sayings, my grandson, and then my granddaughter. Him and his mama stopped over, and at the same time, my daughter had sent me a beautiful picture of my granddaughter playing. Good old Roscoe had to go to the vet. And then my granddaughter FaceTimed me before we left, me bringing my Roscoe to the kennel. I always hate bringing him to the kennel. This is our drive down, and that's the cabin we stayed in. It was gorgeous. Beautiful. I loved it. I would love to buy one. And then this is just some pictures that I chose to stick in here. That's that chicken Alfredo that we got at downtown Flavortown, and that's the painkiller. So much fun. Oh my God. And this was that breakfast. Oh my God. That French toast was so good. Then we found a ice cream shop that was next to downtown Flavortown, and that's a strawberry cake. Is it strawberry cake? Yeah, strawberry cake ice cream. Oh my God, it was so good. And then this is the morning of the storms. This is one of those cars I was telling you about, the old cars that's made into a booth. Let's see. And then when we were driving to the Smoky Mountain train, we saw some elk. That's the landslide, so we couldn't go through that bypass. That's a freaky looking picture. Yeah, it looked really spooky, but that's okay. We didn't end up driving through. Then we get into October. So this is me and my husband 5 years apart. What a difference. Then I got my October YouTube videos. I just wrote a little blurb back there from us. My nails, the government shutdown. Our two homes being taken apart. A beautiful sunset. We went and got some pumpkins. This is from our neighbor's parents' house, and this was just a gorgeous image I got when we were driving down their driveway, because we went to bring his dad, our neighbor's dad, some honey. And then I wanted to get some mums, so we ended up going up to Lowe's to get the mums, and they were very pretty. They didn't last very long, though. But fall is my favorite time of the year, so I love all the vibrant colors. And I'm currently into telling myself, giving myself good old manifestations. And I actually loved capturing these pictures. This was Friday morning on my way to work. There was a little bit of fog still on the river. This is the Oswegatchie, and I thought it was just gorgeous. And then I got my crazy babies playing in Roscoe's bed. Good old Boo Boo Bear snuggling with his lambs. Those pictures I can't show. Oh, my granddaughter called me while I was at work, and she was FaceTiming, so she was putting some different pictures on us. Asher Man carved his pumpkins, and then you can see that I kind of we were looking for the, what do you call it? The auroras, but I ended up getting some of the Milky Way, it looks like. I'm not 100% sure if that's what it is, but that's what it looks like to me. No pictures really here. I'm going to just kind of do this. Okay. Yeah, all those are like the pictures of the team, nights from senior night. She just asked that I don't show her a picture, which is fine by me. And then just a fall picture of me, my nails that I currently have on now. I don't go again till the end of October or the end of November. A beautiful sky. And then Halloween, my beautiful granddaughter was a little leopard. My handsome grandson was Spidey. He loves Spidey. And then that's it. So that is September and October. I am trying to stay current with November so that I can do one at the end of November. Well, the first September or the first Sunday in December, which would be the 7th. So if you like seeing these kind of flip throughs, you like seeing plans with me, hauls, anything along those lines, hit that subscribe button, give me a like, hit that bell notification, and you'll be notified every time I upload a new video. And thank you for spending your time with me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.